Live from Lagos, Nigeria, Business Day Media Limited and the Nigerian Stock Exchange presents Top CEOs and Next Bulls Awards 2020, a celebration of top performing chief executive officers on the Nigerian Stock Exchange as well as leading privately held companies. Join us as we give recognition to companies that are thriving in spite of challenges through visionary leadership, a motivated workforce, supportive boards, and a loyal customer base. Welcome to the 6th edition of the Top CEOs and Next Bulls Awards 2020. Live from Lagos, Nigeria, Business Day Media Limited and the Nigerian Stock Exchange presents Top CEOs and Next Bulls Awards 2020, a celebration of top performing chief executive officers on the Nigerian Stock Exchange as well as leading privately held companies. Join us as we give recognition to companies that are thriving in spite of challenges through visionary leadership, a motivated workforce, supportive boards, and a loyal customer base. Welcome to the 6th edition of the Top CEOs and Next Bulls Awards 2020. Live from Lagos, Nigeria, Business Day Media Limited and the Nigerian Stock Exchange presents Top CEOs and Next Bulls Awards 2020, a celebration of top performing chief executive officers on the Nigerian Stock Exchange as well as leading privately held companies. Join us as we give recognition to companies that are thriving in spite of challenges through visionary leadership, a motivated workforce, supportive boards, and a loyal customer base. Welcome to the 6th edition of the Top CEOs and Next Bulls Awards 2020. Live from Lagos, Nigeria, Business Day Media Limited and the Nigerian Stock Exchange presents Top CEOs and Next Bulls Awards 2020, a celebration of top performing chief executive officers on the Nigerian Stock Exchange as well as leading privately held companies. Join us as we give recognition to companies that are thriving in spite of challenges through visionary leadership, a motivated workforce, supportive boards, and a loyal customer base. Welcome to the 6th edition of the Top CEOs and Next Bulls Awards 2020.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 6th edition of the annual Top CEOs and Next Bulls Awards brought to you by Business Day in collaboration with the Nigerian Stock Exchange. My name is Christabel Iriaye, and together with my colleagues here at Business Day, I'll be coordinating this event to make sure we give you a remarkable experience over the next 2 hours. Before we go ahead with the proceedings for this evening, I would like to request that we rise wherever we are in honor of our nation as we take the national anthem. May I welcome the Sounds of Fire Band for the rendition of the national anthem. Thank you very much, Sounds of Fire Band. If you did rise for the national anthem, you can now take your seats. Today's event is a unique one indeed. We're broadcasting live from Business Day Studios in Lagos, Nigeria. The participating CEOs are joining us virtually via the conferencing platform, and we recognize that we have a global audience today because this event is being streamed live on diverse media platforms, including Business Day's website, businessday.ng, Business Day's YouTube page, and LinkedIn pages. It's also being streamed on Arcada TV and Star Times TV, as well as African Business Radio. So if you're joining us on any of these platforms, you do not need to be left behind. You can send in your comments, you can participate, you can join the conversation. You can use the slido.com platform to join the conversations. At some point in the course of the event, we will put out some polls just to get your feedback on some economic and social issues. Visit www.slido.com, that's SLIDO.com, and use the hashtag TCNBA. That's the event code, once again, TCNBA, for the Top CEOs and Next Bulls Awards. Now, without further ado, I would like to make welcome the erudite publisher of Business Day for his opening remarks. He'll be telling us why Business Day does this event year on year and why we still went ahead with the 2020 edition despite all the prevailing circumstances. Afterwards, we'll be hearing from the distinguished Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Stock Exchange in the person of Mr. Oscar Onyema. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to make welcome Mr. Frank Aibogun, the publisher of Business Day, for his opening remarks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and let me formally welcome you to this evening's event. I'm sorry that we are starting rather late and we are a bit shaky. I am assured that things will get better as we get on with the show. I have had the opportunity to have started a conversation with you all while we were waiting for my colleagues, technical people, to get started. And thank you for those who have helped us to at least reduce the boredom that I'm sure we would have inflicted on our guests while they were waiting. My name is Frank Aibogun. I am the publisher of Business Day, and what a delight it is for me to be welcoming you to tonight's event. We have, over the years, enjoyed the partnership of the Nigerian Stock Exchange to conduct this event annually, and tonight's event is no exception. We're gathering today at a very strange time in a very long time. I mean, we all entered 2020 full of hope and expectation, even if there were anxiety in some areas that never seem to go away, like foreign exchange availability and, of course, the lack of stability in government policy. But no one, I'm sure, imagined we were going to be hit by a pandemic that has gone on for as long as this has. But the fact that we're here this evening is a testimony to the resilience of your businesses, and perhaps also a testament to the stable hands that you have provided to keep your business going, and also helping, as I have seen many of you do, bring some succor to less privileged Nigerians. Either you were contributing directly to government measures that easing the pandemic impact, or you were staging your own company initiative just to lend a hand to the poor. So let me very quickly commend your effort, and also to say that I hope that Nigerians, and indeed your stakeholders in particular, that they take notice of such very noble practices. Now, this is not a night for speech making. We have, in collaboration with the stock exchange, identified a number of you this evening who will be celebrated for the good work that they have done and continue to do. So today is a day of celebration rather than speech making. So let me formally once again welcome you to tonight's event, and to say that as a newspaper, that Business Day is committed to identifying and celebrating hardworking business leaders in our midst. We believe that this economy will go nowhere without infusion of private capital. And we are not just talking here about foreign investors, we are also talking about local investors as well, who we see waiting just to understand how things will shape up. But before I go, let me make the point that I made earlier. We are seeing some fast pacing in economic reforms. We're seeing some alignment as well in terms of government position with the calls that business leaders have been making over the years. We do hope that there will be credibility in these efforts. We put out a story at Business Day this afternoon on our online website. We had spoken to senior officials at the World Bank in the last 24 hours, and they were telling us that, well, we see the reforms that are happening, but we still are concerned about reform integrity. We want to see credibility in the process before we begin to release the cash that we have promised. So we'll see how that goes, whether the government will stand with the reforms that it started and hopefully convince people in the country and those abroad that it actually means business, that Nigeria is open for business. So once again, welcome. I promise you a great time this evening. I have absolutely no doubt that given that you all very busy in your different schedules, have taken time to be out here with us this evening, that you're looking forward to some interesting moments with us. I hope you can network with one another as we get on with tonight's show. Welcome, and please keep on with the good work that you're doing. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if there is any good thing that we can take away from these unprecedented times, it is the ability to adapt to globally evolving digital trends, which is why my recording now seems permissible in today's world of virtual engagements. On behalf of the National Council and the management of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, I would like to welcome you to the 6th Business Day Top 25 CEOs and Next Bulls Award. I must commend the publisher of Business Day, Mr. Frank Aigbogun, and his team for putting this event together to recognize excellent private sector leadership, even in the wake of the current realities. Over the years, the exchange has collaborated with Business Day on the Top 25 CEOs and Next Bulls Awards because we recognize the importance of a platform that celebrates the successes of CEOs across diverse industries and businesses. It is therefore my pleasure to be here today, albeit virtually, to acknowledge the contributions of these leaders to the economic growth and development of Nigeria. The CEOs who we will be recognizing today have distinguished themselves by contributing to the growth of the Nigerian capital market and increasing shareholder value despite the volatility that we have in our business environment. They have worked tirelessly and dedicated their resources to ensure that they meet their obligations to investors and uphold the highest levels of integrity in the Nigerian capital market. It behoves me to say that the awardees today are truly deserving of this honor. At the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we remain committed to providing a platform for issuers and investors to meet their financial and investment objectives, even in the toughest of times. It is no secret that we are living in unprecedented times necessitated by the coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic. However, it is remarkable that we have been able to showcase the resilience of our market since we transitioned to remote trading and working on 23rd of March 2020. Our operations have gone on seamlessly owing to our investments in business innovation and technology. We have gone from surviving a crisis to thriving in the new normal. Our market has remained active with listing activity worth over 1.26 trillion naira since 24th of March 2020, as well as strong trading activity in the equities market with year-to-date losses moderating to negative 5.1% from negative 20.6% in March. We have also recorded significant gains in the exchange-traded funds space, with the new gold ETF returning 72.1% to investors year-to-date on the back of rallying gold prices. In addition to maintaining a vibrant market, we have launched or upgraded several products and services to improve stakeholders' experience, including X-Data Portal, X-Issuer, X-Wiso, and the Sentry GRC product. All of these have been designed to maximize efficiency in governance, risk, and compliance functions, improve disclosures, uphold market integrity, and protect investors. As we continue to battle the spread of COVID-19 in Nigeria, let me take this opportunity to speak on our efforts in providing support to help flatten the curve through the Mass for All Nigerians campaign. The NSC's Mass for All Nigerians campaign is an initiative which was launched to galvanize private organizations and individuals to provide 400 million face masks to Nigerians, especially the low-income households. In addition to our anchor donation of over 100,000 face masks, we are proud to have received commitments from several organizations, associations, and individuals in ensuring that this laudable feat is achieved. I therefore use this opportunity to invite all participants today to join this campaign. Finally, I would like to once again express my delight to partner with Business Day Media Limited on this laudable event and to congratulate the winners. The mere fact that we're all here today indicates that we're all winners. I hope that recognitions such as this will spur other private sector players to greater heights for the common good of our market and our economy. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for your attention.
Presentation. Indeed, the NSE does deserve some plaudits for remaining active, amid the significant disruption that was caused by the COVID-19. For me, it was particularly refreshing to hear that during that period, listing activity worth over 1.26 trillion happened, during the transition to remote trading, which Mr. Onyema talked about, which happened March 23. I also believe that the transition to remote trading helped narrow the year-to-date loss of the equities market, which was at about 20% in March, to 5.1% currently. So yes, that is indeed encouraging. Of course, I'm certainly looking for, I expect to hear much more when Mr. Onyema comes up again with the publisher, Mr. Frank Aigbogun, for a cockpit chat, and I enjoin viewers to also follow that closely. Allow me also to throw this in, that we're running a poll, so you'll be getting some questions in a few seconds. Please take out time to fill them. We'll probably take just 30 seconds of your time. Thank you.
My name is Frank Aigbogun. As part of our event today, I will be having a conversation with the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Oscar Onyema. We thought it would be fitting to get some insights into how the exchange has fared in a very turbulent period in the world. And it's my pleasure and indeed honor to welcome Oscar this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Frank. Thank you.
Thank you. I already alluded to the difficult world that we are in, and I was going to zero in particular to ask you, how has the Nigerian Stock Exchange fared in the period of the pandemic?
Well, Frank, let me start by thanking you for inviting me to have a conversation with you today and to congratulate you on 6 years of hosting these awards. It's a good thing to recognize corporate leaders.
Thank you
for the good work that they're doing.
Thank you.
At the exchange, when we are not different from other corporates that are operating in the Nigerian environment. So I must start from the macro and bring it down to exactly what is going on at the exchange.
Yeah.
Nigeria, in the context of COVID-19, has been hit not only by COVID-19 and its associated health crisis, but also by crude oil price shocks. So it's, for us, it's a double whammy, actually. And if you see how the country has weathered it, be it from all the statistics that are out there in terms of case fatality rates, infection rates, confirmed rates, and death rates, and all of that, we've done pretty well as a country. And then if you add on to that the economic challenges that the country has faced, quite frankly, I'm very, very ecstatic about the GDP numbers, negative 6%, when if you look at other countries that faced only one whammy, COVID, not COVID and oil price shocks, they are double-digit declines in the latest GDP numbers. So all of that has fared very well. We need certainly to do more. I must commend everybody that has worked hard to tackle the COVID-19 challenges, especially the private sector. The private sector stepped up big time to support the public sector in addressing what easily could be a major public health crisis. From a market perspective, our market is highly correlated with crude oil prices. And then coupled with the COVID-19 challenges that have necessitated us working remotely, providing all kinds of support to our various stakeholders to facilitate trading, I would say we're not necessarily in a bad place. You know, if you look at the NSE All Share Index year to date, we're down just a little over 5%. Again, year on year. Again, if you compare that with even countries that I admire, for the policy work they've done around COVID-19, they are down double digit in terms of their main index.
Yes.
And then if you look at our market, it's no different from other markets. We had high volatility in March, then we started seeing recovery in April and May, and that has carried through even with the seasonal downturn that you typically will see in the June-July timeframe.
Yes.
And one other thing that has been fascinating for us is that we're typically known as an equity market, but as you know, we're a multi-asset exchange. Our fixed income market has done extremely well. We've seen significant listings. Today, the market cap for fixed income on the exchange has grown from about 12.6 trillion naira to over 16 trillion naira. So much bigger than our 13 trillion naira equity market. We've also seen significant improvements in exchange-traded fund activity. Indeed, our new gold ETF has returned about 72% this year and has grown in terms of AUM to a little over 14 billion naira.
Wow.
So there are some bright spots that we're seeing. And we're seeing on the equity side, a lot of our corporates needing to adjust their balance sheets, their capital structure, have done rights issues, special placements, and those kinds of activities. So where we've struggled is around IPOs. A lot of the companies that we worked with to position them for IPO this year have had to extend their timelines, given soft market activity. We've also seen a significant drying up of liquidity in the market. During the March-May time period, liquidity actually spiked, in addition to the volatility that we saw. But going into the summer months, we've seen liquidity come down quite a bit. And that is associated with the fact that a lot of the foreign portfolio investors, who are about half of the market, have decided to exit the market. And so what we're seeing is a reduction in total market activity, but we're also seeing domestic investors stepping up to take up that slack, especially retail investors. So we've seen about 60% of market activity driven by domestics, and the retail guys really stepping up, which is quite unusual if you look at the statistics going back 5 years.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. I was going to talk about exchange-traded funds. You've already spoke to that. I was going to talk about the exit of foreign investors, and you've already spoken to that. So that helps our conversation. Let me just ask one more question, which I'm sure can wrap up every other thing that I needed to talk about. If you look at what is happening around the world in the difficult circumstance that we are all in, governments are using regulation, they're using policy to act as support for their various markets, given how critical these markets are. So I would like to ask you, what role do you see for additional regulatory and policy support for the market? And of course, how does the NSE begin to prepare for a post-COVID period? Because the truth is, this will pass, and we will begin to resume, some normalcy in terms of how we do business, even if it's not the way we live our lives.
Right. There's a role for policymakers, a big role indeed, especially for a country like Nigeria, given our current state of development. So granted, the private sector is a lot bigger than the public sector in terms of just contributions to GDP, or in terms of ability to employ and the rest of it. But the impact that public sector has, especially with private sector, especially with regards to policy, sets the tone and sets the pace at which capital is deployed and unlocked.
Precisely.
So for us, we believe there is a major role. I will tell you what we've done with them with regards to COVID and where we think there is opportunity. So when we went to 100% remote trading in March 25th to be precise. We closed all of our trading floors across the country. We switched over to remote trading seamlessly. Thank God we've been spending a lot of money on technology since 2011. And we gave access to investors, to intermediary stakeholders, and to the issuers using our various platforms. We also heightened our engagement with the issuers. So I was on several calls personally with the leadership of various issuing companies. And so we're able to gather information to know where the pain points are and how we can react. So for example, AGMs was a big one. How do we have our AGM when CAMA does not provide for having virtual AGMs?
Meetings.
So we had to engage with the Ministry of Finance. We engaged with the Ministry of Trade and Investment. We engaged the Ministry of Trade and Investment, coordinated a meeting. We brought in the various regulators as well. CAC, SEC, Financial Reporting Council, ourselves, and a bunch of other people. And we said, okay, how can we address a number of issues? Sure. And so coming out of that meeting, we were able to work with the CAC to issue their guidance around proxy. We worked with the SEC to give accommodations to companies around submission of financial reports. We worked with ICANN and the Financial Reporting Council to give accommodation to companies, especially external auditors, with regards to their stamps, where they are not physically able to go to their companies. We worked with the SEC to engage with trustees of bonds so that we didn't want defaults, so that if they wanted to start engaging with issuers of bonds around restructuring, they could do all of those things with appropriate regulatory oversight. We worked with the Central Bank and the Ministry of Finance when there was a complete lockdown to be included on the list of essential services, because our market had to go on to allow over 5 million investors express themselves as information emerged and events unfolded. So those are some of the things we've done with public sector to accommodate some of the challenges with COVID. Now, we ourselves have also done a few things from a CSR perspective, driving our Mask for All initiative. You can see I'm all maxed up. We believe that having 400 million masks around the country would help.
Make a lot of difference.
Which will make a lot of difference. We started we started with 100,000 masks that we gave. And then we're so lucky and pleased with the kind of support we received from listed companies, the broker-dealer community, and others. We also worked with the capital market community to donate a few other things. In total, we committed 100 million naira towards that effort. And we're pleased with the kind of support that has generated. Now, where are there opportunities? We really applaud the central bank for the work they've done in the fight against COVID-19. We think clearly there are still challenges in the FX arena. We see it in the calls and pressure we receive from investors that are trying to repatriate dividends and issuers that are trying to pay dividends. We also see it from the feedback we get from a number of our listed companies, especially those that are in manufacturing, with regards to how quickly they're able to turn around letters of credit to get raw materials and things like that. That is not within our purview, but what we do is that we do advocacy. So we've engaged at the very highest levels with the monetary policy authorities to see how we can ease some of those pressures. We believe we're a market, that market-determined prices with appropriate regulation around it, in a single window, will be painful in the short term, but better for us in the long term. And so doing something like that would really help to bring back confidence and ease some of the pressures that we're seeing. We applaud the central bank. They're already moving in that direction. We just think that we should accelerate it, take the pain, and move on. On the fiscal policy side, again, we applaud the fiscal policy authorities, especially the Ministry of Finance, for the work they've done around the finance bill that is now Finance Act that accompanied the budget appropriation. Yeah. There are a lot of accommodations there for the capital markets that are driving a few things: securities lending, removal of double taxation, and a number of things there. We encourage them to do more for the next appropriation cycle, and indeed, we're already engaging with them on that. We think that if you look at the number of countries, they've done direct interventions in their markets, either through exchange-traded funds or through equity funds, to help stabilize the market, especially in a situation like ours, where the pension fund administrators don't have a minimum required exposure to variable instruments. Yeah. So having that type of public sector-led intervention fund that will provide stability during this time where we don't have buffers, and then exit the market gradually as we return to normal, and then you begin to normalize, is something that we've seen happen in a number of countries around the world, using different constructs. Mechanisms, yes. The last piece is we think that it should be no longer a shock to us that every 5 years there's a cycle, some type of shock, either oil price shock or health shock. We don't know what the next one is going to be. So we might as well start preparing for those shocks and building the right buffers that will allow us to weather the storm better in the next round after COVID-19. And we're very happy to work with the public sector to begin to think about those buffers and to begin to see how you can use capital markets to do that. For example, we know that infrastructure is an area where you need to do a lot of spending. Well, the market can support infrastructure funds, infrastructure bonds, and those kinds of instruments where you raise money in good times and begin to deploy so that when you have shocks during hard times, the money is already there and people can exit using the secondary market mechanism because it will be listed on the stock exchange. So you have those types of instruments that we can work with them to create
and bring to the market.
So that we have those buffers that are necessary.
Precisely. Thank you so much. Let me just ask one more question, and this will be very brief. What's your message to the Nigerian investor as well as their foreign counterparts today?
I think that we are past the worst with regards to COVID-19. I think that we cannot take chances. We have to continue to work hard to find vaccine and protect ourselves and all of that. But the world has come to terms and is already opening up. And so the future is very bright. If you look at markets around the world, everything is bullish. If you look at the US markets, you look at our own markets, it's been bullish for the last couple of weeks. So there's a new turn. People are beginning to look to the future. And so my encouragement to investors is that you take positions when everybody is scared. If you're waiting to see that everything is good and there's a momentum, you may be coming in too late. That's one. Two, you don't want to concentrate risk. So you take positions in a very diversified way. Market timing is something I've never encouraged anybody to do. You don't time the market. You just make your investments with clear objectives When you've met your objectives, you don't get greedy, you come out. So all those fundamental philosophical values still need to be there. The last thing is not to look at just your traditional instruments. Everybody knows equity, but yes, there's opportunity even within equity. Like if you look at the top 8 companies, they've always turned a profit in the last 10 years. So there are opportunities. Even the movement of small cap versus large cap versus mid cap is not correlated. So there are opportunities there. But beyond that, there are other instruments. Gold has been phenomenal. And we have our exchange traded funds that track gold. We have Sukuk. We have green bonds. We have other types of instruments. And very soon our derivatives market will come to help you hedge your exposure and your risk. So look deeply, use professionals, and you will find the opportunities.
Thank you so very much. I have been speaking with Mr. Oscar Onyema, the CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. You know, in everything, you must hope for the better. And the hope that Mr. Onyema has expressed is not just one that is without a foundation. We see exchanges around the world, markets around the world on a bullish path. And it makes sense as well that Nigeria is there. But it is an opportunity now for you to engage the market. Because if you wait, it might be too late. It's been a very interesting conversation, one that offers hope. And I do hope that for you all, you will profit from the insight that you have got. I thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I did tell you that that session was going to be very interesting, and I don't think it disappointed. It was quite insightful listening to Mr. Onyema talk about the emerging investment trends in the market. He made mention of the big jump in the market capitalization of fixed income assets on the exchange from 6 trillion to 16 trillion, which is a sign of increasing investor appetite. He also talked about the opportunities in investing in the new gold ETF exchange traded fund, which has returned 72% this year. I mean, I'll know that very well because I did a story about that at some point last week or so. He, however, admitted that there were some challenges in the market right now, chief of which is, of course, the foreign exchange liquidity, which has more or less dampened the investment appetite of foreigners. He also explained that the pandemic has forced a number of companies to postpone plans for an initial public offering this year because, I mean, there's soft market activity and that might affect appetite for new listings. Perhaps what investors would find most encouraging from that session was the point Mr. Onyema made about the NSE engaging with the Monetary Policy Authority to find a way to ease the dollar crunch. You know, we know that foreigners have complained about that in recent times. Okay, then to wrap up, it also struck me the point he made in his closing remarks that this is a time for investors to really look out for opportunities in the market because you should know that the best time to buy is during a market downturn and not when the market is rising, so to say. So, okay, so allow me to also remind you that the polls are ongoing. The Slido code is TCNBA, so please respond to those questions. I'm sure we'll have results ready in no time. Thank you.
We have now come to the highlight of tonight's event, where we will begin to unveil the winners in the different categories, beginning with the top CEO category. This category recognizes chief executives who have made impressive gains in share tax profits. I'm sorry. Excuse the interruption. So this category recognizes chief executives who have made impressive gains in shareholder value creation, share profits, and profits after tax. Recognizes chief executives who have made impressive gains. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet the winners. Sorry. Excuse the interruption. So this category recognizes chief executives who have made impressive gains in shareholder value creation, share profits, and profits after tax. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet the winners.
The first set of Top CEOs Awards.
Khaled El-Dokani, Country CEO, Lafarge Africa PLC, an accomplished international business leader. He leads Lafarge Africa PLC, a company at the heart of building Nigeria for over 60 years. Wole Oshin, founder and managing director, Custodian Investment PLC, an industry leader with over 30 years experience. He leads one of the most diversified financial and investment groups in Nigeria. Sabeswa Saho, Managing Director, Prestige Assurance PLC, with over 32 years experience in general insurance. Sabeswa is one of the leading lights in Nigeria's insurance industry. Dr. Adebola Akindele, Group Managing Director, Courtville Business Solutions PLC. Adebola Akindele has helped the strengthening of Courtville's culture of innovation, expansion of the company into new markets, and extension of its product portfolio. Ganu Musa, Group Managing Director and CEO, Cornerstone Insurance PLC. Ganu is highly experienced in insurance, reinsurance, audit, consulting, business advisory, and financial management. Zan Usman, Managing Director and CEO, Jais Bank PLC, an astute banking guru, leading Nigeria's first and one of Africa's most innovative non-interest and ethical finance banks. Andrew Otike Odibe, Managing Director, C&I Leasing PLC, an astute business leader and firebrand who has been at the helm of C&I Leasing PLC, C&I Leasing Business Operations since 2000. Owen Omojafo, President and CEO, Transnational Corporation, Transcorp, a leading corporate Amazon, driving growth and development in Africa.
Congratulations to all the winners in the Top CEO category. We would like to invite the top CEOs to give their acceptance speeches, beginning with Mr. Khaled El-Dokani, Country CEO, Lafarge Africa PLC.
Hear me. It's truly overwhelming, and I'm greatly honored for this nomination. And I want to thank so much Nigeria Stock Exchange, led by the CEO Oscar Onome, as well as Business Day, led by Mr. Frank Egbon. It's a great honor for me, and it's truly overwhelming to get this nomination. It's truly overwhelming. And I'm greatly honored for... I want to extend my deepest gratitude and appreciation Firstly, for my family, for my wife and kids. I want to extend my deepest appreciation for my team in Lafarge Africa, who has been truly a great support for the journey of Lafarge Africa over the last 60 years. It's a great team with a great support, great energy. I want to extend my deepest appreciation and support for our board, led by our chairman, our board directors, for their great support and domination for the business that we have in Nigeria. Thank you so much, and I would truly appreciate the nomination and the prize. Thank you.
We would like to welcome the top CEO, Mr. Khalid El-Dokani, country CEO of Lafarge Africa PLC, to give his acceptance speech.
Lafarge Africa PLC is a member of Lafarge Holism, the leading global construction materials and solution company in the world. Lafarge Africa is a publicly quoted company on the premium board of the Nigerian Stock Exchange and serves Nigeria with a wide range of building and construction solutions designed to meet housing and construction needs, from small projects like individual home buildings to major construction and infrastructure projects. With 4 plants in Nigeria spread across Shagamu and Ewekoro, Southwest, Ashaka, North, and Mafamosing, South, Lafarge Africa PLC currently has an installed cement production capacity of 10.5 million tons per annum, in addition to our cement product portfolio, which offers a wide range of cement solutions designed to meet all building and construction needs. Lafarge Africa PLC is the first cement company in Nigeria to publish a local sustainability report. In 2015, we began providing details to our customers, shareholders, and communities on our social performance and contribution to Nigeria's development through our business operations and social investments. One of our goals is to pioneer the transformation of the local building materials and construction sector in Nigeria to address the important environmental issues in line with the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals and our sustainability ambition pillars on climate, energy, circular economy, environment, and communities.
Congratulations once again, Mr. Lafarge and the Lafarge team. Please, we would like to welcome the next top CEO to give his acceptance speech. Mr. Wale Oshin, Group Managing Director of Custodian Investment PLC. It seems Mr. Oshin is currently unavailable.
Editorial board of Business Day, of course, led by Frank. I'd also like to thank the Nigerian Stock Exchange for putting this program together. It's a long journey for Custodian. We've been around now for upwards of 25 years. It's a diversified group, as has been mentioned, with interest in pension business, trusteeship, life insurance, and general insurance, and recently into property business. I'd obviously not be able to come here, thank you, without my team. I'd like to appreciate the management of Custodian. We've got a very young and enterprising group of people that are behind these awards. This is actually my 4th nomination, and this can only strong team. I'd also like to thank the board of directors of Custodian. They've been a very strong support in pursuing the vision of the group. Congratulations to my fellow awardees. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for giving us this opportunity to be here and for me to accept this very prestigious award. So thank you very much and God bless.
Congratulations, Mr. Oshin, and once again, congratulations to the Custodian Investment Group. We would now like to welcome top CEO, Mr. Sabeshwa Saho, Managing Director of Prestige Assurance PLC, to give his acceptance speech.
Hello. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am extremely delighted and honored to receive such recognition and award. I am very grateful for this recognition because I am sure there are many others who also deserve and equally capable to get this recognition. I thank you. I thank Nigerian Stock Exchange, Business Day, and the jury for selecting me for this great honor. It would not have been possible without the support of my seniors, my board of directors, my colleagues, and the customers for whom we are here, and not the least is the family and the friends. I dedicate this recognition to all of them. I am sure with this recognition, more responsibility is coming along with that. I assure you all, with the support, blessings, love, affection, I will rededicate myself and I will rise to the expectations of you all. Thank you all. Thank you once again, NSE, Business Day, and all of you. Congratulations to my fellow awardees. Thank you all.
Congratulations, Mr. Saho. Please welcome Mr. Ganiyu Musa, Group Managing Director, Cornerstone Insurance PLC.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much. First and foremost, I would like to thank the board, the leadership of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, as well as Business Day for this nomination. Of course, it would not have been possible but for the hard work and the dedication of the very supportive and the beautiful team that we have at Cornerstone, all the staff and management put in all the work that's gotten us to this stage of the nomination. Obviously, we exist to serve our customers, so we send the deepest appreciation to our customers for the support that they have rendered. As Frank and both Oscar have said, in the course of this engagement, these are indeed very unusual times, so it will not be complete if we do not extend our appreciation to all our frontline staff, the healthcare workers, the medical doctors, and the other medical professionals that have basically put their own security, their safety, their health on the line to make sure that we're able to hold events like this, and the rest of us to continue with our normal day-to-day life. So thank you very much for maintaining the defense and keeping the flag flying. We all love you. We all support you. Again, my congratulations to my fellow nominees, and I think having gone this far, we have cause to be quite satisfied with what we have put in and the recognition that has come with it. Once again, kudos to the NSE and to Business Day. Thank you very much.
PLC. Congratulations, Mr. Musa. Next in line is Mr. Hassan Usman, who's the Managing Director and CEO of Jaiz Bank. Congratulations, Mr. Usman.
I'm highly honored to be selected for the Business Day 2020 Top CEO Award and grateful to the duo of Business Day and the Nigerian Stock Exchange for this recognition. I'm pleased to accept this award, which I believe is the result of the commitment and dedication of our team at Jaiz Bank, who gave everything to pioneer the delivery of non-interest banking to Nigerians. I thank the board and management of Jaiz Bank for their support and cooperation, and the shareholders for their enduring patience. Above all, I appreciate the loyalty of our teaming customers for their growing patronage. I thank my family for their patience and prayers, and thank the Almighty for the success achieved and commit to even do better. I congratulate my recipients of these awards and pray that we will all do better and deserve better recognition in the future. Thank you, and God bless you.
Congratulations, Mr. Usman. Our next top CEO is Mr. Andrew Otike Obi, who's the Managing Director of CNI Leasing. Moving on now, we also have Mrs. Owen Omogiafo, who is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Transnational Corporation of Nigeria, Transcorp. Please welcome Mrs. Owen Omogiafo, who is the President and CEO of Transnational Corporation of Nigeria, Transcorp, as one of our top CEOs. So we'll call the next CEO now. Looks like Mrs. Omogiafo is having some technical difficulties. Mr. Olushola Peter Obabobi, the General Managing Director of Red Star Express. Congratulations.
Star Express. Congratulations. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to be on this platform, and it gives me great joy to be part of those nominated for this award. Let me thank Mr. Frank Aigomo of Business Day and his team. Let me also thank Mr. Oscar Nyuema and his team as well for the great job that they are doing to put this event together. This award is not something I can take all by myself. It is something that I would like to thank God for. First and foremost, I want to thank God for the privilege and the opportunity that I have. And very importantly, to thank the entirety of the customers of Resta who have been with us for 27 years. We can't thank them enough for their trust and their patronage in helping the growth of Resta. Let me also appreciate and dedicate this award to the team staff of Resta who have made this possible. Without the customer, the staff don't have any job to do. So I want to thank the staff, particularly the couriers, the gentlemen who are on the street every day, riding the motorcycles and driving the trucks from place to place, and who have made our lives much easier than we've ever known it. Let me also thank other categories of staff who are working behind the scene that are not seen every day, and they are doing such a great job to keep Resta going. I want to thank the management and the board of directors of Resta for the great job that they are also doing to keep us on track. I won't forget my family, wife and children, and my friends who have been of tremendous help to Resta in driving us forward day after day. Thank you, Nigeria, for the opportunity to serve and to make our little contribution to the growth of this country. Thank you, NSC, one more time. Thank you, Business Day. God bless you. Thank you.
So I hear that Mr. Andrew Tikeobi has joined us now. So Mr. Tikeobi is also one of our top CEOs. He's the Managing Director of CNI Leasing. Congratulations, Mr.
Unfortunately, it seems we might be having technical issues connecting with our top CEO. Coming up, 5 minutes break by Sound Sapphire Band. We would also like to let you know that another poll is going. Please fill out those questionnaires and leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you very much. Here is Sound Sapphire Band.
Wow, thank you so much for that Sounds of Fire band, for enabling us get our groove on, despite this being a virtual event. And you know, while I was listening to them, I began to ask myself, weighing the pros and cons of virtual events against in-person events, you know, and I was like, I'm not sure if I still want to go back to having in-person events, or probably just even staying with the new normal. Rolly, what's your take?
I can imagine. I mean, while I miss the person-to-person interaction, I mean, the virtual life comes with flexibility and so many benefits. I mean, I can attend a meeting in New York in the morning, by midday join a meeting in Paris, and I'm back in Nigeria for lunch. So I think it's been fantastic.
Yeah, that flexibility is not something I want to trade for anything else, you know, and I think we have a global audience today, and we even have some of the participating CEOs joining us from different countries, because we have them in different locations, so that's a good thing. We'd like to hear your feedback, would like to get your perspectives. Please participate in the conversation. Visit www.slido.com, slido.com, and participate in the polls. The polls will be going out. Use the hashtag TCNBA. TCNBA. That's the event code to participate in this event and to send in your comments, your contributions, and your responses to the polls.
It is now time to welcome the next set of top CEOs. Please join me as we welcome them.
The next set of Top CEOs Awards.
Olushola Obaburi, Group Managing Director and CEO, Red Star Express PLC. He leads one of Nigeria's foremost logistics solutions providers. Red Star Express PLC is a licensee of FedEx, the world's largest delivery solutions provider. Patrick Iludianya, Managing Director, SFS Real Investment Trust. He leads Nigeria's first listed real estate investment trust. SFS Rate has paid dividend every year since inception over a decade ago. Babajide Fajemiroku, Managing Director, ICO Insurance PLC, a consummate financial professional with in-depth sector experience in management consulting, insurance and asset management, leading one of the largest, most diversified insurance groups in Nigeria. Ferdy Mooman, Chief Executive Officer, CEO, MTN Nigeria PLC. Mr. Mooman has extensive experience spanning financial auditing, financial operations and taxation, having worked in the telecommunications and consulting sectors in Nigeria, Iran, England and France. As CEO MTN Nigeria, he oversees Nigeria's largest telecommunication and one of the biggest quoted companies on the stock exchange. Herbert Mwigwe, Managing Director, Access Bank Group. Herbert is a banker and entrepreneur whose career in financial services has spanned more than 25 years. Under his leadership, Access Bank PLC grew from a small commercial bank into one of Africa's largest banks, with over 36 million account holders and 600 branches across 12 countries, spanning 3 continents, Africa and the UK. As one of Nigeria's foremost corporate bankers, Herbert has helped develop some of Africa's most successful companies in the construction, telecommunications, energy and the oil and gas sector. Roger Thompson Brown, Chief Executive Officer, Seplat Petroleum Development Company PLC. Roger has over 25 years experience in the financial sector, primarily focused on emerging markets, with extensive experience in structuring energy and infrastructure transactions on the African continent. Adeboye Oyeyimika, Managing Director, Cadbury and Cluster Director for Mondelez West Africa. Oyeyimika Adeboye has an impressive track record in finance, strategy and business administration, both in Nigeria and the United Kingdom. Abubakar Suleiman, Managing Director and CEO, Sterling Bank. A seasoned banker, Abu has carved a niche for himself in the fiercely competitive financial services landscape by providing innovative responses and solutions to complex problems.
Congratulations to the top CEOs. And we will now make welcome the CEOs for their thank you speeches, starting with Mr. Patrick Ilodianya, the CEO of SFS Real Estate Investment Trust. Mr. Patrick, please welcome for your thank you speech.
Am I to speak right now? Hello? Can you all hear me?
Actually, go on.
Okay. Thank you very much for the award. Thank you, Business Day. Thank you, Nigerian Stock Exchange. We appreciate giving us the award. This award does not belong to me, but to the entire team and my partners who are actively involved in managing all the real estates every day. Yemi who actually started the fund, Dimeji Shinowa, my partner, Bisola Bisuri, Olaniwa, Michael Maliko, and a host and a team of others. Most especially, I want to thank the Securities and Exchange Commission for everything they have done. So thank you all very much. Thanks a lot. And my co-awardees, congratulations also. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Patrick, and congratulations to the entire team at SFS.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Patrick. You would have noticed that there is a time lag between the YouTube channel and the Zoom channel. The Zoom channel is faster. The YouTube one appears to go around the world before it comes back to Nigeria. So when you get prompted, please just go on and we will take it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. Okay, so the next CEOs that will be up for the thank you speeches will come up in this order. Mr. Babatunde Fajamirokun of ICO Insurance, Mr. Ferdinand Moolman of MTN, Mr. Herbert Wigwe of Access Bank, Mr. Roger Thompson of Seplat, Mrs. Oyeyimika Adeboye of Cadbury, and Mr. Abubakar Suleiman of Sterling Bank. You'll be coming up in that order. So I would like to make welcome Mr. Babatunde Fajamirokun of ICO Insurance PLC for his thank you speech. Mr. Patrick, and congratulations to the entire team at SFS.
Thank you very much, Patrick. You would have noticed that there is a time lag between the YouTube channel and the Zoom channel. The Zoom channel is faster. The YouTube one appears to go around the world before it comes back to Nigeria. So when you get prompted, please just go on and we will take it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. Okay, so the next CEOs that will be up for the thank you speeches will come up in this order. Mr. Babatunde Fajamirokun of ICO Insurance.
Christopher,
Mr. Ferdinand. Yes, go next.
Movement, right?
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the stakeholders in ICO Insurance PLC, I thank the leadership of Business Day Media Limited and the leadership of the Nigerian Stock Exchange for this award. ICO is delighted to be recognized for its stock price appreciation, PAT growth, and unblemished regulatory compliance record for the 2019 accounting year. ICO Insurance is over 50 years old, starting as a life agency office of AIG in the US, to a company today with a leading life and general business complemented by health and asset management businesses. ICO has undergone several transformations over the last 50 years, and we are proud of this capability. We are capable of adapting to the times, and this will continue into the future. We thank our enduring customers, our employees who make this possible, our board of directors for the governance and the support, and our many shareholders for their enduring support over the many years. Personally, I thank my family for the support and for allowing me work the long hours needed to do the job. We are deeply grateful for the consideration. Congratulations to other awardees. Thank you again, Business Day. Thank you again, NSA, and God bless you all.
The next awardee to be recognized is Mr. Ferdinand Moolman, the CEO of MTN Nigeria PLC, who would like to call Mr. Moolman to come up with his acceptance speech.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Please allow me to stand on the existing protocols. Frank from Business Day, I need to apologize to you and your team. As you can see, I have not complied with the required dress protocol, but I'm sure you will forgive me. Firstly, on behalf of the MTN family, I just want to say that our prayers go out to all of you. We hope and pray that you and your families are healthy and that you are safe during these times. Particularly thank you for the judges who have honored us in this manner. It is truly a privilege to accept this award on behalf of the entire MTN Nigeria board of directors and all the MTNers out there. Thank you to all our customers for entrusting us with your telecommunication requirements. Without you, we won't have a company. This award is in recognition of the dedication and hard work of all the MTN staff and the support of all of our vendors. I can find no better way of thanking all of you by wearing the message on my shirt. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moolman. Moving on, we would like to call the Chief Executive Officer of Seplat, Mr. Roger Thompson Brown, for his acceptance speech. The Managing Director of Cadbury Nigeria PLC, Mrs. Oyeyimika Adeboye, would like you to come for your acceptance speech now.
Can hear me. Bill George, in his book, I like to quote a quote from Bill George that says, "The role is not to get others to follow them, but to empower others to lead." Today, I'm really proud of the family at Cadbury. We at Cadbury are really, really proud to be nominated for this award, and I thank God that this team have worked tirelessly to ensure that we maintain growth and deliver returns to our shareholders. Our consumers and our customers have been very strong partners in our business, particularly in our journey to where we are today. Our consumers continue to enjoy iconic brands, which have real legacy brands in Nigeria and in West Africa. We're blessed with an experienced board, experienced and diverse as it is, who have steered this business very well to where it is today. I want to thank our board of directors. I want to thank the family of Cadbury in Nigeria and across West Africa, because the Nigerian business is only part of the West Africa team. And I want to also thank Business Day and the Nigerian Stock Exchange for nominating us for this award. I'd like to congratulate all our awardees. I'm really proud to be one of the nominees here today, and I'm proud to be quoted, our company is proud to be quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, ma'am. Congratulations to the entire team at Cadbury. We would like to request that Mrs. Owen Omegiafo of Transcorp get ready. There were some issues previously. We couldn't hear your acceptance speech, so please get ready. And Mr. Adebola Akindele, please get ready. We'll be calling you up shortly.
Next, we would like to call Mr. Abubakar Suleiman, the Managing Director, CEO of Sterling Bank PLC, for his acceptance speech. I think we may be having some technical hitches. We will be moving on with the program.
Mrs. Owen Omogiafo, are you ready to come up with your acceptance speech? Mrs. Owen Omogiafo, please come up for your acceptance. Okay, congratulations to all the winners. And we will be going into a special segment which we have tagged Amazons in the C-Suite. Amazons in the C-Suite. And this segment, it will be very brief, but I'm sure it will be very engaging and insightful. It will be chaired by the Associate Editor of Business Day in the person of Kemi Ajumobi, and she'll be having a conversation with 3 Amazons who are recipients of the awards today. Kemi Ajumobi, I'll now yield the session to you. Thank you.
And I'm the Associate Editor for Business Day. It's an honor to be having this conversation with the amazing women we're having in the suits. And so even though it's called the Amazon Suits for Women, we have men in our midst. So it's okay. We are glad you're here with us, and we trust that this will be a nice time. I'd like to welcome 3 distinguished women whom I was speaking with. Mrs. Oyeyimika Adeboye, the MD of Cadbury Nigeria. Mrs. Owen Omogiafo, the President and CEO of Transnational Corporation of Nigeria, and Mrs. Titi Odufa Adeoye, the founder and CEO of Sankore Investments. Welcome to this section, and I trust that we'll be learning a lot from you. I'd like to go straight into asking my questions. So I'll be asking 3 questions, and then one will be a general one, and then the 2 will be, second ones will be for the 3 of you, please. Now, it's commonplace for people to say women should be given seats in places of honor. They should be respected. But I'm of the view that it's beyond the gender. My idea is it's about your agenda. My question for the three of you, starting with Mrs. Oyeyimika Adeboye, what is your agenda for the organization that you head as a CEO? I would appreciate if the response can come in a minute and a half. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I don't think I'll need that much anyway. First of all, my agenda, and this has been my agenda for a long time, is to take our business in West Africa to more than doubling its size over the next 5 years. That's my personal agenda. And in doing so, to bring in more brands. We work for a multinational that has multiple brands. We're not playing in all the brands currently in Nigeria and in West Africa. And really and truly, my desire is to be the first person to bring some world brands into this shore and to bring it in to be locally manufactured, not to import it, but to make it in Nigeria. Because that is also a big request coming from, the background of our nation and what we need to do in Nigeria. And then to end up exporting to other countries. I'm tired of importing things to Nigeria. I want to export from Nigeria. So that's my agenda. It's as simple as that.
Thank you very much. Brilliant. Mrs. Owen Omojefa, I'd like to hear from you. What is your agenda for the organization that you represent? Mrs. Owen Omojefa.
I am not sure if she's on anymore. You need to check that.
Okay. I'll be posing the same question to Mrs. Tito. Please respond to the question. What is your agenda for your organization? Is Mrs. Titi Odufa Adeoye there, please? Okay, I can't hear from her. I believe when she comes on, she'll be able to respond to the question. I'd like to go straight to Mrs. Oyeyimika. There are lots of issues around enough women not being on boards. So we have fewer number of women on boards. What is your view on this, and in what way can this be better improved?
This topic comes up all the time, and I think I'm probably the wrong person to ask this question, because I think when I say what I say, people say, well, you should give an answer that is gender biased. Actually, my belief is, first of all, that board nominations are based on merit, based on experience, based on exposure. The reality is that there are a lot of very, very capable women out there. I know that for sure because, we have a board with some very strong women on our board. And, sometimes I think it's sponsorship. I call it sponsorship, Men tend to recommend other men to boards. Women rarely do. I'm looking at a document that's just been published by one of the newspapers about the people who supported the COVID-19 venture, and all the pictures of men. I personally know a lot of women that have done a lot of work over this period to support COVID-19, but they're not being put out there for whatever reason. So I think it's just, I use the word sponsorship because, we need to loud ourselves up as women, and we need to make everyone know that, we're out available also to be on boards. There are a lot of capable women out there, and this is really not because they're women, but because they've worked for it, and they have the credibility and the credentials to be on boards. But for whatever reason in Nigeria, we're not seeing it. I know in other countries, for example, our company is a multinational, and one of the requirements from the US Stock Exchange is that you have to have X number of women in your company, and therefore there's a deliberate attempt, or at least a deliberate move to ensure that women who merit it are put where they belong, and they're not there are no excuses not to put a woman in there. Maybe our Nigeria Stock Exchange needs to do the same to encourage boards to have more women on their board.
Interesting. Since you're the only one, available for now, I think I'll just, concentrate on you until, our two other guests are available. Okay, so, the COVID period has been horrible for a lot of businesses. How have you, heading an organization as great as yours, been able to navigate the strange waters? And how have you remained on top of your game as the company that you are, despite the challenges that the season presented to a lot of us?
I think, I mean, it's not peculiar to our business. Nigerians, we're very agile. We're resilient. We survive in anything. This is the reality. And when this pandemic came in and the lockdown came in, before the lockdown, there was a lot of prep work being done because, clearly other countries had been locked down before us. So there were lessons to learn and preps that we could do to just prepare ourselves for what was coming our way. So, I mean, that was one thing. Secondly, we had the support of so many stakeholders. I'll use this medium to say it again. Lagos State was fantastic. The governor called a meeting of CEOs and asked us what we needed through this period, and made sure that our operations were facilitated easily. We had permits to do things. We had all the support we needed. We had a board. Our board in Cadbury. I mean, I'm really grateful for a board that says to us, call us 24/7. Any help you need, Yimika, call me. And I'm calling people at, and I'm not exaggerating, 11:30 p.m. to say, oh, I'm trying to get this done. What can I do? It's just getting all the support. And the team itself, our sales force was extremely innovative, thinking out of the box. The markets were locked and we're trying to sell. So you can imagine trying to go door to door, trying to sell to people with nose mask on and bags of provisions in your hands, just trying to sell every little thing. Everyone recognized that, salaries have to be paid, and the only way salaries will be paid is if we thought out of the box. So, there was a lot of thinking out of the box. There was a team spirit, there was a family spirit. I keep referring to the Cadbury family. Manufacturing team worked tirelessly 24/7. The sales team was on the field, even with the lockdown. The support staff who had to work from home, thank God for technology, were able to do so. Accounts were prepared on time. Everything just happened. So there was a seamless process. So it wasn't about me or what I did. It was about the team and what the team did to ensure that we carried on through a season that, we weren't sure how long it was going to go on for. But we knew that we needed to pay our bills. We needed to make sure that the business continued to strive. So, this is it.
Thank you so much. I'm aware that Mrs. Titi Odufadeoye is around. Welcome, ma'am. She's the founder and CEO of Cadbury Investments. It's good to have you here.
Sorry for the technical issues.
That's fine, it happens. So my first question for you is, as a wealth management firm, how are you helping women to be empowered? How are you teaching them to be empowered? In what ways can they be empowered and be better? In what ways can their business be better? In what ways can they do better things? So how are you helping women to manage their businesses as a wealth management firm?
That's actually a good question. And we have a product or a service called Wealth for Women. And what we actually do with that service is we try to, and we've partnered with some organizations to do this. So we speak to women in small groups to just sort of help them think about wealth and help them think about wealth creation. One of the key takeaways I think that we just sort of try to shine the light on is helping women be aware that it's very important for us to select the right careers that help us build wealth long term. So if you, again, because we spend a lot of time studying wealth creation and just sort of the trends in wealth creation, one of the things you see globally is that women do tend to cluster in areas that are notoriously bad at helping them create wealth, and it could be that we may be looking for flexibility and so on and so forth. So you'll see women pick businesses that may not be the type of businesses that can help them build wealth long term. So a lot of women, for example, cluster into beauty businesses. Beauty businesses are great, but the barriers to entry for them are so low that the odds of you creating wealth in that business is actually extremely low. So if a woman is looking for flexibility and she wants to build a business, we try to encourage to do a little bit of deeper thinking about the type of business that could still deliver that flexibility, but actually lead to wealth creation. We're telling women that, look, be aware that the particular skill set of women is actually very good for industries like, for skill sets like software development, for example. A lot of people don't know that there are lots of very, very good women software developers, and the particular attention to detail that, we talk about women having is actually very good for software development. And I mention that because it's one of the few skill sets that you can do from home. So the key, so if you want to be an entrepreneur in that space, you can actually create a team of young software developers, train them, and do work for large institutions. Much of it can be project managed from home. So if you think about the woman who has a beauty business selling hair, and the woman who has hired a team of 4 or 5 developers and is actually building enterprise applications, the wealth path is completely different for these two people. So for us, it's very important for us to help women think about the selection of their careers, especially select where they want to put their energies, So of course, I mean, you're speaking to, I'm on a panel with, very high-powered women who have also taken just sort of the path less taken, which is quite a male-dominated path, But I think we do have to go into more male-dominated areas, knowing that we bring our own specific skill sets. You don't need to think that you will do any worse. I actually think that in a lot of ways we have. I think in a lot of ways, being in a male-dominated environment can be helpful to you as a woman in some ways, So I think people often look at those male-dominated areas as just being, okay, well, that's not for me. But we want women to rethink that and actually go forward into those spaces.
Thank you. Second question for you. So it's out there that women always refund loans when they get them. Like you can trust that once they get those loans, they're going to refund them back. Having said that, women still have issues with getting loans because of collaterals always being asked. What can be done to better improve the means of getting loans? And in what way are you helping to help them manage those loans, to teach them to manage those loans so that they can repay on time and then come to get another fee or another time?
So just from the experience of speaking to lenders, I actually don't think that the problem is women not getting access to loans. In fact, a lot of the financial institutions that I've spoken to want to lend to more women because women do pay back. But what you'll find with a lot of, so take for example, if you have a platform, any sort of financial platform, you'll find that there's always a 70-30 split, men, women, who use that platform. So if you're lending, you'll also see probably 30% or less of the people who are borrowing will be women. So because lenders are seeing that women do pay more, they would prefer to lend to more women. So I think the issue is just sort of sometimes women not feeling comfortable with taking the debt or comfortable with the process of taking the debt. So there are actually quite a lot of financial institutions. I mean, we're partnered with quite a few of them. I know Access Bank, who's also nominated here, Carbon. A lot of these firms have actually created propositions specifically to help women access these loans a bit better. We try our best to work with them whenever we can. I'm actually on the board of an organization that does something similar. So the key point at the end of the day is for us to be aware that this is something that will take some time. It's a cultural thing and it's going to take some time to solve. But the problem is more getting women comfortable, getting women comfortable with the process. And I think a lot of these firms have done really good work with regards to trying to create structures where they will be handheld, where, women generally will be handheld through the process. But it's again something that we also have to do with our friends. Our key point is just letting people know that, look, you can get a loan, you probably should get a loan, but only when it's productive debt. We don't necessarily want women to go out borrowing for consumption, for example, but definitely if it's to grow a business, if it's to acquire assets that can help you further grow and generate more income, then of course we definitely recommend it. But I do think it's something that will take time. We try our best to work with firms, and we will be available as resources towards this goal.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, so my final question for the both of you, because I need to round up right now so we can get into other things I'm doing. It's a general question, so you're going to be answering it individually. If, for instance, you become the first female president of Nigeria, so we've been saying give women a chance, give women a chance. And if, for instance, the people have shouted, they've come out to say, Ms. Oyeyimika, we want you. Mrs. Odufa, we want you. And you become the president of Nigeria, what would be the first thing that you would change? I would like to start with Oyeyimika. Thank you very much.
You're probably not going to like my answer. I actually don't want to be the first female president of Nigeria. So I definitely don't want to be.
Is there any reason you're not interested in politics? You'd rather be at the back than...
I cannot play politics. I'll be very frank and honest. I cannot play politics, and integrity is very important to me. And what I see in my face today, whether it's in Nigeria, in the US, or in Europe, is pure politics and a lot of questions around integrity. So what I do is to pursue my circle of influence, and my circle of influence is not just where I work, but the community I live in. And there I play to do the things that I feel are important to do to impact lives around me. So I want to continue to impact lives, but it's not through playing politics and being the president of Nigeria. I would not accept that nomination, even if I was out there.
I appreciate your honesty. I can feel the zeal in you, like, Kevin, don't even go there. Kingmakers don't wear crowns. So it's okay, I understand. You may be at the back end supporting whoever wants to go up. We never can tell. And I'm hoping Mrs. Odufa is not going to say the same thing. But even if she does, it's okay. What is your opinion, Her Excellency, in view?
So even though I completely agree, I would also not be at all interested. However, answering it as a hypothetical question, I do think that I very much admire those who are, who have what it takes to be in politics, because I do think that we can't all afford to be on the sidelines, but some of us also know that we have to contribute in other ways. And I'm a big believer in the power of business to actually impact lives. But if I were to be president, I think the only thing I would focus on, to be honest, a lot of people think, okay, power, currency, there are just so many issues. I actually think that the one primary thing to focus on is rule of law. Because if you deal with rule of law, I think that the business people, enterprise, can take care of everything else. Power, I think that should be sorted by the private sector. I think food, I think everything really can be solved by the private sector. However, so I'm a strong believer in the private sector to just sort of, grow a country. But the one thing that the private sector will find it difficult to do is, put good money after bad. So if you don't have sanctity of contracts, if you don't have a way in which you invest money and you know that you can just sort of keep to the rules of that investment, then it's a problem. And I actually think that that is the number one thing the countries should try to get done. Even infrastructure can be done by private money. That's the key thing. So I think sometimes we think CBN and the government needs to be the one to build roads, build this. Let's not forget, in the United States, private capital built the railroads, right? So, and the railroads were extremely important, to just sort of connecting America. So if we want roads, if we want rail, all of that can be done by the private sector. But the government has to make sure that there is rule of law. And that is actually a really big problem to solve. So I think, honestly, any new president coming in, if they just take that one thing and focus on that one thing, it would be good for the rest of us, and the private sector can do the rest.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Odufa. That sounded like a manifesto, but okay, I understand that you don't want to contest. It's fine. I've had an amazing time here at the Amazon Suits. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you, Ms. Oyeyimika Adeboye, the MD of Cadbury Nigeria, and thank you, Mrs. Titi Odufa Adeoye, founder. Sorry?
Thank you. My name is Mrs. Adeoye.
Adeoye, yes. Sorry, I apologize for that. And also Mrs. Titi Adeoye. Thank you so much for being part of this. We'll continue with the program. My name is Kemi Ajumobi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Say a big thank you to our women Amazons for that wonderful discussion. Thank you all for staying connected. We would, at this point, like to recognize some of our awardees who were unable to come on live. We want to recognize Dr. Adebola Akindele, the Group Managing Director of Cotville Business Solutions, Mr. Andrew Otike Odibi of C&I Leasing PLC, and of course, Mrs. Owen Omogiafo, CEO of Transcorp Nigeria PLC. We also want to recognize Mr. Abubakar Suleiman, the MD CEO of Sterling Bank PLC, who wasn't able to join us. Congratulations to all of you. We have come now to the final set of awardees for tonight, the Next Bulls category. The Next Bulls Awards seeks to recognize and celebrate private companies who active investors on the exchange have expressed a strong desire to own their shares in the event that the board decides to go public. These companies have distinguished themselves with an impressive growth, market reputation, world-class values driven by a dynamic leadership as well as consistent growth. This has attracted the attention of industry watchers and market analysts. Please meet the winners of the Next Bulls category.
The Next Bulls Awards.
Fejiro Hanu Agboje, founder and CEO, Patricia Technologies Limited. Fejiro is at the forefront of digital technology revolution and innovation that is set to usher Africa into the digital age. Obi Ezude, president and CEO, Beluxi Group, gifted with an unbridled flair for leading people and getting work done by them. Obi leads one of Africa's leading confectionery companies. Pat McMichael, CEO of Eat and Go Limited, experienced across different continents. In Nigeria, he leads Eat and Go Limited, owners of the international quick service restaurant QSR brand, Domino's Pizza, and Nigeria's #1 QSR. Titi Adeoye, Managing Director and CEO, Sankore, a company founded by her, is Nigeria's only wealth as a service platform offering investment strategy, products, advice and technology to the clients of private banks and other financial institutions. Femi Adeoti, Managing Director and CEO, Africa Operations Inlock Computers Limited, leads Inlock to provide dynamic and highly scalable ICT infrastructure solutions across various segments in Africa. Bimbo Adeoye, Managing Director and CEO, Fintrack Software Company Limited. Bimbo is founder and co-owner of Fintrack Software Company Limited, a leading indigenous software solution provider in Nigeria and many African countries. Adebola Shaidu, founder and chairman, Brains and Hammers Limited. He has served on the boards of several companies and has vast experience in all matters relating to turnkey real estate consultancy. Valentine Chime, Managing Director, Inc. Digital Nigeria Limited, a performance leader and professional with extensive knowledge of strategic goals and its connections with finance. Valentine is known for developing innovative solutions to grow sustainable revenue. Thomas Pelletier is the country delegate of CFAO Group in Nigeria, head of CFAO Automotive Business Unit in Nigeria, Managing Director of Marsilia Motors and Managing Director of CFAO Nigeria PLC. Thomas has over 20 years experience in the automobile industry in Africa, having worked in various managing positions in France, Cameroon, Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana and Nigeria.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to call Mr. Fejiro Hanu Agboje, the founder CEO, Patricia Technologies Limited, to come up for his acceptance speech. We would like to move on. We will call Mr. Oji further along in the program. Next bull we would like to recognize is Mr. Obi Ezude, the President, CEO of Biloxi Group. We would like to move on and call Mr. Ezude and Mr. Agboje as we move along with the program. However, we would like to...
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can everybody hear
You're
me?
live.
Speak on.
Oh, okay.
Yes, go on, sir. Go on, sir.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Obi. I work for Biloxi Industries. I would like to thank Business Day for nominating me and the Nigerian Stock Exchange. On behalf of the young people I'm able to lead and the board and staff of Biloxi, I would like to thank you for nominating our company, and then also to wish our customers who have been a good partner to us throughout this journey a very big thank you for the support. It is our hope that the country will move forward, that Biloxi can also advance to the next level of its development. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you so much for that speech. We would like to call the next recipient of the award, Pat McMichael, CEO, Eat and Go.
Good evening, I should say good afternoon, early evening, and very nice to be here with you. I'm not sure whether you can hear me. If you could just acknowledge that you could hear me, that would be helpful. Just checking to see. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate all my fellow nominees for this Emerging Bull Award. It is a very exciting award to achieve. I know that everybody has put in a lot of work in their respective companies to be nominated for this. I'd like to thank Business Day and the Nigerian Stock Exchange. As any good CEO is surrounded by an excellent board and an excellent leadership team. I'm lucky to have the exact same. We have all worked very hard over this last 6 months and achieved a lot despite the challenges that we've had. Our company has been lucky to trade through this pandemic, and we will continue to trade and grow our company. We have a lot of belief in Nigeria. We've opened new stores in the middle of the pandemic. We've opened new stores as recently as last week in Uyo. We've got a pipeline of 20 new stores that are going to be open before Christmas. So I'd like to really highlight my team. They are the ones who really put in the hard work. My job is to conduct the orchestra and make sure that we've got everything running the way it needs to run. I'm very lucky that I've got an excellent board who are very passionate about the business. And between the board and the excellent team, it allows me to work well and keep all the balls up in the air, as they say, and don't let either of them hit the ground. We're big believers in Nigeria, and we are looking forward to continue to invest. We've been working very hard with the local communities and put a lot of pizza and ice cream and frozen yogurt out to the front line providers, and also working with our Slumber School charity as well. I'm really pleased to say that despite the challenges that we've had, we've been able to keep up our donations into the community. I congratulate everybody on their awards and their nominations. I wish everybody well as we continue to move through the challenges that lie ahead for us all. Thank you. Last week in Uyo, we've got a pipeline of 20.
Mr. McMichael, we will now invite the Managing Director, CEO, Sankore Investments, Ms. Titi Adioye.
We are looking forward to continue to invest. We've been working very hard with the local communities.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are aware that
Get out to the front line providers and also working with our Slum to School charity as well.
Ms. Adioye?
Despite the challenges that we've had, we've been able to keep up our donations into the community. I congratulate everybody on their awards and their nominations. I wish everybody well.
Thank you so much to Business Day, Mr. Frank Agbogun, and to my regulator, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, led by our able leader, Mr. Oscar Onyema. We really appreciate this nomination. On behalf of Sankore, I'm extremely humbled to receive this recognition and as a recognition of our work. And I dedicate this award to my team. No general can fight a battle without great soldiers. So. And I really believe that I have the best team that there is. So thank you to my team, especially to my family, especially my husband and daughter, who provide me with the best support that you know, everyone leading a company needs. I do thank them very much. Next, and definitely not least, our clients who have trusted us for this period. We've been in business for almost 10 years now. We have clients who have been with us from the beginning. They trust us to be able to provide them with a platform that can help them build sustainable wealth. And that trust is invaluable. We really do appreciate their ongoing trust and support of our platform. We are very appreciative as well of our investors, who many of them are clients as well. They have been with us also for almost 10 years as well. And many of them are also on our board. They really have just supported us in many ways, not just financially. And we are very, very excited about the fact that, you know, for many of them, we're their best performing investment. And I'm very hopeful that we will provide them with a 100x return by a listing on the Nigerian Stock Exchange within the next few years. So thank you again to Business Day and to the Nigerian Stock Exchange for this award. And we really appreciate the recognition.
We're aware that the CEO of Seplat Petroleum, Mr. Roger Brown, and the CEO of Sterling Bank, Mr. Abubakar Suleiman, are around, and we'll be calling them up to give their acceptance speeches after this round of awards. Thank you.
I hope everybody can hear me. My name is Femi Adeoti, and I represent Inlax. I'd like to appreciate Business Day for recognizing me for this award. Business Day is led by Mr. Frank Agbogun, and also the Nigerian Stock Exchange, led by Mr. Oscar Onyema. I dedicate this award to the management and staff of Inlax for their relentless work that they do day by day, even at this period when things have been challenging, and also to our board for allowing us to make the changes we have made that led to being recognized for this award. And also to our customers who have supported us all these years and keep supporting us. We appreciate them also. I dedicate the award also to my family, and I want to appreciate them for bearing with me during all the very busy period. I want to congratulate all the other awardees also for being recognized for this award. Congratulations to everybody, and thanks, Business Day and the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Femi Adeoti, Managing Director, CEO, Inlax Computers Limited, for that gracious speech. Next up is Ms. Bimbo Adeoye, Managing Director, CEO, Fintrax Software Company Limited.
our board for allowing us to make the changes we have made that led to be recognized for this award. And also to our customers who
Good evening, everyone. I want to give thanks to the Almighty God for this nomination. Appreciate and congratulate the management of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, led by Oscar Onyema, and the management of Business Day, led by Frank Aigbogu. I also want to appreciate our various clients that have given us the opportunity to be of service, and also to my colleagues, board and management of Fintrack Software, and the staff of Fintrack Software for their unrelenting support. This award is actually on their behalf. I also want to appreciate my family that has given me all the support on the home front, and the Nigerian populace for their patronage as well. Fintrack Software is the leading enterprise application provider in the country, and our vision is to be the world's #1 enterprise solution provider. And today, we have supported operators in the various sectors, private and public sectors in the country, with our various solutions, which include ERP solution, banking software, enterprise performance management system, data warehousing business intelligence, and the credit risk 360, a financial and regulatory reporting platform, and also risk management solutions. We have a workforce in excess of 125 that have enabled us to also render various services. So once again, I appreciate you all, and I give you thanks for this nomination. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bimbo Adeoye. We would like to invite Mr. Adebola Sheidu, founder and chairman, Brains and Hammers Limited. Mr. Adebola Sheidu, founder and chairman, Brains and Hammers Limited. Next, we would like to recognize the presence of Mr. Hanu Agboje, Patricia Technologies, and he'll be coming up for his acceptance speech after we take the next couple of awards. Next, we would like to call Mr. Valentine Chime, the Managing Director of Inc. Digital Nigeria Limited, to give his acceptance speech. Mr. Chime.
Everyone, my name is Valentine Chime. I'm representing Digital here, normally Vodacom. I am honored to accept the award and also to join the past recipients of this award category. I'd like to say a big thank you to the Business Day and Next Bulls Award organizers for nominating me in this category and for the hard work done so far in ideating, planning, and executing this event. Leading a company to deliver results that capture the attention of the Nigerian Stock Exchange in the past months has not been an easy task, but with the great team I have around me, I would say it makes it worth the while. On behalf of my team, I also want to say that we don't take this recognition for granted. Winning this award only encourages us to put in more efforts in the job that we do to make you, our clients, our partners, and the country proud. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations, Mr. Chime. Next, we would like to call Mr. Thomas Pelletier, Managing Director of Massilia Motors and Managing Director of CFAO Nigeria PLC, to give his acceptance speech. Mr. Pelletier.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Fumi Abiola, and I'm here to represent Mr. Thomas Pelletier, who unfortunately cannot be with us this evening. We would like to thank Business Day and the Nigerian Stock Exchange for this opportunity. And on behalf of Massilia Motors, the sole distributor of Mitsubishi Motors in Nigeria, and the CFAO Group in Nigeria, would like to thank you for recognizing our visionary leader, a man who is able to nurture talent, who is able to ensure that talents are reach their potential within the organization, who ensured that no jobs were lost during the COVID season, and who has also contributed to the wellness of our community. Thank you very much, and do have a good evening, and congratulations to all the awardees as well.
Congratulations to Massilia Motors. Next, and definitely not the least, last and definitely not the least, is Mr. Fejiro Hanu Agboje, the founder CEO of Patricia Technologies Limited. We would like to welcome Mr. Agboje to deliver his acceptance speech.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hanu. I'm the founder and CEO of Patricia, and I'm really excited to be here and being on this category. When I first found out about this, I was really excited because there are so much great entrepreneurs in different industry doing the most for Nigeria and for Africa, putting everybody on the map. I want to say well done to everybody in this category. You all are MVPs, and to Business Day, thank you for making this possible. And well done, and let's all keep doing the most.
Congratulations, Mr. Agboje, on your award. Next, we would like to acknowledge other awardees who have not been able to deliver their acceptance speeches, to come forward now. Thank you. We are aware that Mr. Abubakar Suleiman is around and is ready to deliver his acceptance speech. We would like to welcome Mr. Abubakar Suleiman, MD CEO of Sterling Bank PLC, to deliver his acceptance speech.
Thank you very much for having me. I would like to start by saying that the value of any recognition or any award is measured by how it changes the behavior of people. To the extent that those who have been recognized continue to practice whatever good behavior has been appreciated, and that those who have not yet been recognized changes behavior. And so to that extent, I want to appreciate the work that has been done by Business Day and by the Nigerian Stock Exchange, first in creating the credibility around which an award of this nature can be given, because if you don't have the credibility, then the award that you offer would be of no value. And this has come from consistently fighting for what they believe in on the part of Business Day for continuing to fight for the role of private sector in building a shared prosperity, and on the part of the Nigerian Stock Exchange for leading reform and for being innovative as a self-regulating body. I'm going to start by saying we're not here because we have done things the way others have normally done it. We are here because we've tried to do things differently. And we've done so because we're convinced that our country and our industry requires a different kind of thinking. The kind of thinking that increasingly is our only chance as a country for leading the sort of growth that is required to get people out of poverty. We have set out to prove that you can build a profitable business and a sustainable business while focusing on impact. So if there is anything today that I want us to remind the listener, is that when you set to build a business, even a financial institution, around the ideas of impact, of making a change for the society, you can also do so profitably. And if you stay true to it, at some point, even the Nigerian Stock Exchange and Business Day would recognize you. So I will close by saying I only stand here as a CEO to represent the work of thousands of young men and women who have continued to innovate and to bring up new ideas to help this society. And I also stand here to represent the millions of customers that have switched to Sterling Bank of recent and have made the difference that you have recognized today. So thank you very much to every single person who has contributed to building the business that is being recognized tonight, and to everyone who has contributed in making the award itself a success. Thank you, and I continue to commit ourselves to doing the behavior that the award has recognized.
Congratulations, Mr. Suleiman. At this point, we would like to call upon the CEO of Seplat Petroleum Development Company, Mr. Roger Thompson Brown, to deliver his acceptance speech. We would like to call Mr. Roger Thompson Brown at this point to deliver his acceptance speech. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for keeping connected to us at this point. Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving us your time for the last couple of hours. We have finally come to the conclusion of the event, and we did tell you that we had put out some polls in the course of the event, and right now we'll just read out the results and then call on the publisher of Business Day to give us the vote of thanks as we close this event for the day. Thank you very much. Lolade, can we hear from you?
Okay, so we asked you two questions. The first was, what impact the COVID-19 pandemic was having on your business? 50% of the respondents said a high impact, while 50% said moderate. I mean, that's quite understandable. It is certainly going to be of high impact, especially given that the economy has been reeling from a double whammy of the oil price decline as well as the pandemic. I mean, we saw the National Bureau of Statistics say that the economy contracted by 6.1% in the second quarter of 2020, which is the most in 2004. So this response is pretty much expected. The next question we asked you was whether you were confident that the government is doing enough to ensure that we don't have a prolonged recession. So remember I said the economy contracted 6.1 in Q2. If there's another contraction in the third quarter, it means that we're already in a technical recession. The feedback we got, 76% of you said no, you didn't think the government was doing enough. 16% said yes, and 8% were not sure. So I'm guessing that, of course, people would like to see the government probably fast-track some of the reforms that they already have in the pipeline. The removal of the power subsidy as well as the fuel subsidy, if you ask me, are great economic policies and would certainly bring long-term gains to the economy. I'm very sure that the government is listening to this, and they will certainly work harder to accelerate the pace of these reforms. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Lolade, and we remain optimistic that things will definitely improve in terms of the economy and even in terms of the health situation. Before I call on the publisher of Business Day, I have just been informed that we have a representative from Cotville Business Solutions, and we would just like to call on him to give us his acceptance speech on behalf of the CEO of Cotville Business Solutions.
Good evening, distinguished guests. I'm actually standing in for Dr. Adebola Akindele, who is unavoidably absent for this occasion. But nevertheless, I have his authority to deliver this speech. It's a great honor to be awarded this prestigious award by the Business Day and the Nigerian Stock Exchange. It's a great pleasure to be amongst the awardees, and indeed, I want to express gratitude, and indeed, on behalf of the management team, the board of directors of Cotville Nigerian PLC. I'd also like to use this opportunity to appreciate our partners, all of our customers, our principals, our clients, particularly the several state governments who are our principals, the federal agencies, and a lot of private institutions. We want to also appreciate the general public, particularly those that are very familiar with our flagship product, the authoritative product, and some other household products. Once again, we want to appreciate our host community, especially those that have been beneficiaries of our very robust sustainability programs. We appreciate everyone. And lastly, the management, senior management, and the team, the very, very innovative team of Cotville Business Solutions. Especially, we have a team of very young and vibrant staff, and they have done so much to make sure that the business is sustainable. So we are using this platform to appreciate everybody, indeed all our stakeholders. Once again, we thank the organizers of this wonderful program. This sixth edition, nevertheless, a virtual platform, but it has been a very great program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, and congratulations once again to the entire team at Cotville Business Solutions. Congratulations to all our winners tonight in both the Top CEOs category and the Next Bulls category. And thank you very much to our viewing audience. Thank you for giving us your time. I would now like to call on the publisher of Business Day, Mr. Frank Aigbogu, to give us his vote of thanks and bring this event to a close. Mr. Frank Aigbogu.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you so very much for enduring with us. We have indeed experienced some technical glitches, but it has been a fun night all the same. This is the first time in 6 years of this award that we are having a virtual celebration. And you would imagine that there will be glitches. We did our best to minimize those glitches and to ensure that we at least give the best of ourselves. We're grateful to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, especially the CEO, Oscar Onyema, for the support and the partnership. We believe that the work that Oscar and his team have done have helped to restore credibility to the exchange, have helped to calm investor nervousness. And today we no longer speak about the issues that were once dominant some 8 or so years ago. I want to congratulate all the winners this evening. Wale Oshin, Sabesu Asaho, Dr. Debola Akindele, Mr. Ganiyu Musa, Hassan Usman, Andrew Otike Odibi, Owen Omogiafo, Olushola Peter Obabori, Khalid El Dokani, Patrick Ilodianya, Babatunde Jamirokun, Ferdinand Molman, Herbert Wigwe, Roger Thompson Brown, Oyeyimika Adeboye, Abubakar Suleiman, and of course for the next bulls, Fejiro Hanu Agboje, Obi Ezode, Pat, Michael, Titi Adeoye, Femi Adeoti, Bimbo Adeoye, Adebola Sheidu, Valentine Chime, and of course, Thomas Peletia. Thank you for staying all of the night with us. We appreciate your support. We do hope that next time when we gather, that we will be able to gather in person, and if not, that we will be able to mount a more exciting virtual convening. I must also thank my colleagues at Business Day for the great work they have done. As I said earlier, this is a pioneering initiative to do this in the context of the global pandemic. We alluded at the beginning of this to a number of things, firstly around the closure of the border and the hope that the borders will be open soon. So I hope the next time we meet, we will have our borders open. We talked about reforms that are ongoing, and they hope that there will be credibility to these reforms, that government will stay despite the difficulty and the pushback that we always experience when things like this happen. For those who have won awards today, I do wish you the very best, and hope that those very things, especially as our friend Suleiman from Sterling Bank said earlier, those things that you have done that have pivoted you to this stage, please continue to do them. And for those who haven't won today, I hope you are inspired by our colleagues who have won, and that you will continue to follow the path of honor and of integrity in building your business, and in the hope that next year we will all be gathering together. Once again, let me thank our colleagues and partners at the Nigerian Stock Exchange for the support, and to wish you the very best of what is left of this rather difficult year. God bless you all, and good night.